So, have you been hearing a lot about 5D energy and wondering if you are in 5D? I want to talk a little bit about this 5D thing and explain a little bit from the perspective of our higher self and from the spiritual realms comprehension of what 5D really is and if we're really there yet. So, stay tuned. Welcome to the Soul Alignment Mentor Podcast. I'm your host, Angie, and I'm inviting you to explore the depths of self-sabotage, limiting mindsets, and the beliefs that hinder our progress in life. Through intuitive messages I receive from my spirit team, I share profound insights to help you live authentically and break free from these limitations. Join me now as we uncover all the keys to living your best life. Welcome back. My name's Angie, and I'm your Soul Alignment Mentor, bringing you intuitive messages from my spirit team to help you align with your most authentic and highest self. Before I jump into this topic of 5D, I want to share a huge special that I'm putting on for the month of July. So if you hear this episode, you watch it on YouTube, you listen to it on a podcast, reach out to me in the month of July. You get $400 off working with me one-on-one for 7 weeks. So you will be moving from a $1,444 investment to only $1,044. So $400 off. You cannot beat that. That's for 7 weeks of one-on-one healing and alignment and intuitive work where I can help you clear all the blocks that are going on in your life and get back in touch with your higher self, get back in touch with your spirit guides, kind of make sense of things that are going on in your life. If you feel like you're being called to something new, help you get to the point where you're on track towards that. So reach out to me. My email is going to be below wherever you are, whether that's on a podcast or YouTube. And reach out to me, email me, and let me know that you are interested in the one-on-one work special for July. So let's get into this 5D thing. I have been meditating on this for a while, and during a meditation yesterday, I received some more insight, guidance, support, instruction to share with the collective about 5D energy. There is a lot of talk from a lot of spiritual people and people that are claiming to be healers or teachers and all that that are talking about 5D. Now, these people are sharing accurate things, but I want to give a perspective from a different view because I think sometimes it can feel really frustrating to be on the ascension journey and feel like you're still struggling with 3D energy. And I want to explain why that is so. Right now, the Earth's frequency is shifting into a higher consciousness. That is why you are even here. You have been attracted to listen to this video, listen to this podcast, because you are shifting in your frequency. Anybody that has found this, you are in alignment with awakening. You are in alignment with changing in your consciousness, rising in your vibration, opening up and expanding your energy field to be able to connect with higher dimensional beings, to be able to connect with higher dimensions, to be able to open up your energetic field so that you can enhance and grow in your comprehension and understanding of who you are as a spiritual being living a human life. Now, what causes the frustration in us humans is as we're ascending, we're still dealing with 3D energy. And I have had people say to me that they're frustrated with the 3D because they're in 5D, because they're living in a 5D energy and they keep getting mixed in with 3D energy and whatever that might be. That might be through a job. It might be through relationships that you have. It might be through experiences. Whatever that might be, there is 3D energy around us. The 3D energy I'm talking about can be things like conflict, negative energy, like having people around you that are complaining all the time, having experiences with people that are engaging or involved in things that are low vibration, such as people that might like to party all the time or drink all the time or engage in low vibrational energy activities. If you've been on your ascension and awakening journey for a while, you likely have gone through some type of change in your life where your habits and things that you engage in have shifted and changed, whether that's what you participate in and putting your inside your body for food, drink, whatever that might be. It might be what you're watching, what you're spending your time doing. It might be the people that you spend around. It might be a job. It might be your own family in some aspects. So what the interesting thing is as you start to shift out of the low vibration, you start to raise in your energy, you start to notice things that you probably didn't notice before. And you might feel frustrated by being around that energy, but also knowing that you are ascending and you're going into a higher frequency, and that it is a goal or the purpose of your ascension and your vibration shift to move into higher consciousness. But here is what Spirit is wanting to let you know about this process. We are not in 5D yet. No human is actually in the 5D energy. As long as you are a human being at this moment on the planet, you have not fully shifted in the 5D energy. In that case, you also are still impacted by 3D energy. Because if you have shifted in your frequency, if you have raised in your vibration, you are now experiencing the middle ground, which is 4D. You are in a 4D energy where you are adjusting and shifting and changing and molding into a new frequency to be able to handle 5D energy. 5D energy is much different than 3D and 4D. 5D energy is much lighter. It has less density. It has more ability to move quickly. If you go back and listen to my last podcast, I talk about the energy of time and how time is speeding up and how we're shifting into a higher consciousness where time does not exist. And that's why it seems like time is speeding up. Just like time is changing, we are changing. Our bodies are changing. The frequency of who we are is shifting into a higher consciousness. But if we just jumped into 5D, if we just moved quickly into that 5D energy, we would not survive it, because the low dense energies that we have held in the human experience in our bodies have to be worked out in order for us to shift into that higher consciousness of the 5D. 5D energy is going to be much more fluid than the 3 and 4D energy. And our body has to adjust to be in that frequency. And in many ways, our body will be shifting into more of a fluid, crystal-like energy, much like higher dimensional beings, some of the aliens or spirits, or those who live more so in the 5, 6 to 7D energy. These beings are much more capable of handling that energy field because they're not impacted in the way that we are with 3D. Many of these beings in other realms do not have to rely on the things that we have had to rely on Earth. Many of them don't have to eat like humans do. Many of them don't worry about time. Many of them are moving much quicker than humans do. So for us to adjust into a higher frequency, into that 5D energy, we have to work out all of this old trauma, all of this dense energy, all of these emotions and feelings to shift in our consciousness into 5D energy. So when we talk about moving into 5D, awakening into 5D, and the world moving into that. That is where we're going currently, but there has to be things put in place for us to get there. And that is what you're seeing all over the earth right now with the global consciousness awakening, with healers coming forward and standing in the gap of helping to bring healing to the collective. That's why you're seeing more and more people step into their spiritual gifts, into spiritual healing. That's why you are starting to see people opening up to understanding that we are spiritual beings, maybe becoming more interested in near-death experiences, opening up to mediumship when maybe they didn't really even believe in that before. There's people leaving religion. There's a lot of things happening for the energy to shift into a higher consciousness. And so those that are moving into 5D are likely in the middle ground of that 4D energy. So you're still being impacted by the 3D, but you're not yet in 5D. So you might get a taste of 5D energy once in a while, just like you get a taste of 3D energy, but you're not fully integrated into that yet, because there still has to be some work done on this level of the 4D. And so the work is energy work. It's releasing trauma from your chakras. It's letting go of old mindset. It's understanding your power. It's understanding that you have the capacity to manifest and create a life around you, that you are the reflection of the life you see, that if you are struggling with something outwardly, there's likely something that needs to be dealt with inwardly. It's allowing yourself to see negative thought patterns or behaviors and correcting those, but also letting go of shame or guilt or fear or the belief that there's something wrong with you or negative self-beliefs, lack of confidence, all these things. It's stepping into your highest self and aligning more with your true soul, which is who you are in your original form as a spirit. It's your oversoul, basically. So as we shift into this 5D energy, the earth and humanity are going through this awakening of who they are, but also working through a purging of the energy that has kept them from knowing. So that's why it's called an awakening, because you are waking up from the slumber of the 3D world. And now that you're in 4D, now that you are in this middle place, you're starting to feel the effects of both. You're not in 3D where that's just reality for you all the time, and you're not even thinking about spiritual things. You're not thinking in a higher conscious mind. You're not thinking about as intensely the spiritual aspect of who you are. You may have been in religion. You may have been spiritual before, but now the shifting of that consciousness is an even higher frequency in that comprehension. And as somebody that has left religion, that spent a lot of time in religion, I always had those thoughts about there has to be more out there. There has to be, this can't be it. It can't explain it. Like I remember thinking for myself, being in a non-denominational Pentecostal church where I would hear, only people that accept Jesus can go to heaven. And I would think about people all over the world in other countries or places and think, how is it possible that the only people that can go to heaven are the ones that believe in Jesus, when there are people all over the world that don't even hear about this? Like there's people in the Amazon, there's people but there are people all over the earth that will never touch a Bible. And in the teachings that I had in religion, that those people were going to go to hell because of how they were thinking and believing. Now that I've awoken, I understand that that's false, and that we all come from the same source. We're all source energy experiencing itself in a human form. We are manifesting our experience out of the energy of God. So we are a frequency of God experiencing itself in human form in this particular lifetime. Now, we have a frequency that is being manifested in multiple places at multiple times, But this is our conscious awareness right now that we are in. And that is why it feels like we're a human, and it feels like we're in 3D, and it feels like things are hard, because we have manifested that to have the experience of it so that we can grow and change and heal and increase the frequency of our soul, so our soul can continue to evolve. And basically God's creating more of itself through us. So this is a lot of deep stuff, I think. And if you are awakened, or you are shifting to a higher consciousness, then you're moving into that 4D energy, or you are in that 4D energy, you'll be able to comprehend this a little bit more. But I also want to point out that the ability to hear things also shifts as you shift into higher consciousness. We all talk in frequency. Our voice has a frequency about it. So when I'm speaking, some people will be able to hear me clearly and other people won't. But I want to emphasize that if you don't understand the language, if you don't understand the frequency at this point, that it's not because there's something wrong with you, or that you're not as good or good enough, or whatever it might be in a human comprehension as far as your ego thinking. It just means that you're at a different frequency, doing a different work at that time, and you will likely shift into the frequency where this is able to comprehend. You'll be able to comprehend it more and understand it. So the way that you shift that frequency is what I was talking about before: clearing out your chakras, working with your energy, clearing trauma out, opening up your chakra, your crown chakra, your third eye chakra. These are all things that happen as you evolve. They're not something necessarily forced, and they're not something that you have to really, in a 3D energy, work really hard at. They simply happen as you continue to heal and shift your frequency and your comprehension. And the more that you do that, the more abundant and more open you come in your energy field, which moves you more into that 5D energy, where you're closer to that, where you're more fluid, you're more open, you're more capable of seeing patterns, you're more capable of seeing your power, you're more capable of manifesting things, because you see how energy works and you understand it, and you understand that you are energy as well. So if you have felt like there's something wrong, you're not doing something right, you're feeling frustrated with the 3D world, if you're having all these things coming up, I want to encourage you and let you know that the one thing that's going to create more of that frustration is focusing on it, is creating the frustration out of your own energy. And what you need to do is take a step back and be present where you are, accept it, allow it, work through it, and be still, knowing that as you are in that still place, as you are in meditation, as you are working on mindset and clearing chakras, you automatically are shifting into a different frequency. You're automatically shifting into a higher consciousness. In our ego mind, in our 3D energy, we tend to try to make things hard because we have been taught things have to be hard in order to be successful. And that's not how things work in 5D. So we have to let go of that part as well. We're in this middle ground within the 4D, so we can learn how to let go of the way that we have done things and move into the way that things will work within that 5D energy world, within that new earth energy that we are shifting into. So the new earth is shifting. We are awakening. We are moving into 5D energy. It's just a process in time. And I'm even hearing Spirit say now, as I'm speaking, that things are amplifying and speeding up. And to understand that as we shift into this frequency, that just like we are purging trauma out of our bodies, and it doesn't always feel good to purge negative energy and beliefs and ideas and trauma out of our body, there's a lot of crying, there can be anger involved, there can be pain involved, there could be tiredness, there can be all kinds of things. If you've been on a healing journey, you know how it can feel. But you also, if you've been in it long enough, you also know there's freedom on the other side. And so that's where we're working towards. But just know that as we are working through that as humans, the earth is working through that as well. And so even though things may appear to be scary and unpredictable, and as if things are really bad within the frequency of the earth, understand that the earth is also purging trauma. The earth is also purging darkness. One of the things, and the Spirit is reminding me of this just now, I got to the title of my third book the other week. It dropped into my mind. My spirit team will drop these titles of books in my mind, and then I will write them with them. My first two books are behind me. Leaf Lessons is my first one. My second one is Composting the Ego. Both of them talk about awakening, spiritual ascension, healing. Composting Ego is a great resource for anybody leaving religion so that you can comprehend things that you've been taught in religion in a spiritual understanding, in a higher consciousness. I did channel that book with my guides. The first one, my first book, talks about my own trauma story. It's kind of a memoir in some way, but encouraging. Also has a very amazing vision that I had about a leaf. And so I do encourage you to grab both of those. They're both on Amazon. You can read them for free if you have Kindle. But I'm in the middle of writing my third book here. And one of the things that Spirit gave me to write in my book, I will share with you, is the energy of darkness. And this is what the earth is going through at this time. And the way that Spirit likes to explain things to me is through like parables, kind of like the way Jesus would talk. And Spirit said to me, what happens when you go into a room that is dark and you turn a light on? And of course I say, well, the light overtakes the darkness goes away, that there is no more darkness. And Spirit pointed out to me, the darkness didn't leave. It simply transformed into light. As soon as you turn that light off in that room, the darkness returns. And this is why that there's a need for the purging, because each time you turn a light on in darkness, and this is why we're rising in frequency, this is why we're healing, this is why we're letting go of things, more and more light comes in the darkness, and it expands the darkness, and it allows it to become more open and more fluid and less dense. So what we're doing basically is adding more and more and more light into the dark energy of the 3D. And more and more of that light is going to move that darkness out. Now, the darkness doesn't go away. Just like Spirit said, as soon as you turn that light off, the darkness is back. It's just simply transforming it into a different frequency. Understanding that the darkness has a purpose. The darkness has a frequency in which we can work with. It's not our enemy. It's not here to harm us. It's not something we need to be fearful of. It is simply an energy that we have created to work with, to manifest with, to grow in, because it served a purpose for us in 3D. And now that we're in 4D, we are opening up our energy field. We're opening up the light within ourselves, and we're sending more and more and more light into that darkness. And therefore, that darkness has to open up and expand. And what happens when you expand something? It transforms. And so the earth is going through this, where more and more light is coming into the earth, and it's going to move and shift things on the earth. And that's why we are seeing things as natural disasters and lots of souls leaving, humans leaving the earth. So there are things that are shifting in the consciousness, in the energy, because that dense energy is becoming lighter and lighter as we shift in the higher consciousness. And that those who are meant to ascend will be a part of that. But there is a part for that low vibration and frequency also. So there will be people that are not meant to ascend into that. And that is their soul's purpose. That is what they chose to experience in this lifetime. So we have, in many ways, have to be okay with allowing other people to be on their mission as we are on our mission, and aligning with those who are meant to be on that same path as us, and being okay with allowing possibly friends, family, things that happen in our life to be on their own path as well, without the need to change it. Because the reality of it is, like I said prior about religion saying that only people that accept Jesus can go to heaven, we're all from the same place. We're all going back to the same place. There is no need to worry about not returning to the light, not returning to a higher consciousness, because that is who we are. There's a way to manifest lower dark experiences, but that's a whole nother topic for another day. But for the purpose of this teaching and this intuitive insight that I have received from Spirit, it is to help release that frustration, release the fear, to be more present in the now, to work with your energy field, and to understand that we're not necessarily in 5D yet. We are shifting there. We are moving into 4D. We are in 4D, many of us, and we will be shifting into 5D. As far as timeline, if somebody is seeking timing of these kind of things, there's not really any way to put a time on it, because time does not exist in the spiritual realm. And the more we move into closer to that 5D energy, time's not going to matter. But for the purpose of our 3D understanding and our 4D understanding, I have been able to get some messages that things will start to move into that higher frequency of 5D within the next 25 to 30 years. We will start to see it prior in some aspects, but more so in that timeline than we will feel it in right now. There will be some shifts that happen in the next 6 months to 3 years that will be pretty significant on the earth. And that's why Spirit is really wanting to emphasize that fear is not real, and darkness is simply something that we can shine light into. As we shift out of this 3-year period, we will be moving into a more fluid, open time where things are continuing to shift into that 5D energy, and things will feel a little bit lighter, a little bit different, and you actually might feel that in your body a little bit more after we start moving through some of this purging of that old energy and the density that we're letting go of. So again, keep working on your energy field, your chakras, opening up your mind to higher consciousness. The best way to do this through meditation. Work with a healer. If you are looking for a healer and you would like to work with me, again, I have the special 7 weeks working with me, $400 off. If you catch this before July 14th, I'm starting my next group chakra healing course, Raise Your Vibration, July 14th, 6 p.m. Central Time. Jump on my website and get underneath healing and go to the Raise Your Vibration course. Use the code 15day to sign up for that to get $160 off. There's also some other resources on my website, angieharris.org, for chakra clearing, meditation. I do intuitive counseling and healing, and I do intuitive readings and mediumship as well. So if those things interest you and you would like support and you're looking for a healer, feel free to reach out to me. You can just email me, Angie@angieharris.org, or get on my website and get a hold of me that way. Or just comment on here. I would love if you would leave a review and 5 stars, like and subscribe. This will help a ton, help me to grow, and it motivates me to continue to share as well. So if you would do that, share with a friend. Let me know what you thought of this and how you're doing in the 4D energy. So until next time, I wish you the best day, night, evening, whatever time it is for you. I send you all the universal love. Namaste.